The Los Angeles Lakers are once again making headlines, not for a blockbuster trade or a new signing, but for a decision that has many questioning the direction of the franchise. The focus is LeBron James, and the controversy centers on the team's choice not to secure him with a new contract this past summer. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Instead of working out a fresh 1+1 deal with the 21-time All-Star forward, the Lakers left James on an expiring $52.6 million contract. For a player who remains the face of the league, the move was seen by many as risky, if not short-sighted. One of the most outspoken critics has been former NBA point guard Gilbert Arenas. Speaking on his podcast, Gil's Arena, Arenas, a San Fernando Valley native and 3-time All-Star himself, pulled no punches. He directed his criticism squarely at the Lakers front office and at controlling owner Mark Walter, accusing them of failing to secure the long-term future of the franchise's most important figure. "If I were the owner, I would have locked him up," Arenas said bluntly. "Ask him what he wanted. If I can redirect another $50 million to him, maybe by investing in his school or something he can benefit from later, just to save myself $50 million today so I can build the roster, I'd have done it." Arenas' words strike at the heart of a growing debate. How should a team handle a superstar who is both a living legend and a player nearing the end of his career? At 40 years old, LeBron James is entering his record-breaking 23rd season in the NBA. For the third year in a row, he will be the oldest active player in the league, and while he continues to perform at an elite level, producing numbers that defy age, the concerns are obvious. He is now a constant injury risk, and defensively, he no longer dominates the way he once did during his prime years with the Miami Heat. Still, his influence on and off the court is undeniable. James remains the engine that drives the Lakers' relevance, the main attraction for fans, sponsors, and media attention alike. Letting him approach free agency without additional security feels, to many, like an unnecessary gamble. Arenas also touched on another issue, the financial value of NBA superstars. "Every great player was underpaid," he said. "Michael Jordan was underpaid, Kobe Bryant was underpaid, Shaquille O'Neal was underpaid." His point resonated. The league's history is filled with examples of generational players whose true worth went far beyond what they earned on paper. To Arenas, James deserves not only respect, but also a financial commitment that reflects his singular impact. But then Arenas made a statement that pushed the debate into controversial territory. He argued that neither Luka Doncic, the 26-year-old All-NBA first-team guard, nor 27-year-old Austin Reeves could be considered the future of the Lakers. Instead, he claimed the franchise's present and future revolve entirely around the James family. "LeBron James is your present and LeBron James Jr. is your future," Arenas said. "Luka is just the bridge between the two LeBron eras." It was a bold claim, and one that many found difficult to accept. Bronny James, now 20 years old, is still in the very early stages of his NBA journey. His rookie season was underwhelming, filled with struggles and inconsistency. While there were brief flashes of potential, the notion of him being the heir to his father's throne feels premature at best. Bronny entered the league as the 55th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, selected out of USC. Even at the time, many analysts believed that taking him in the second round was generous. At 6'2", he lacks the size and raw athleticism that often define elite guards in today's NBA. For now, expectations should be tempered. That said, there have been glimpses of what could come. Bronny showed more promise in the Summer League, where he demonstrated confidence and the beginnings of a skill set that could translate at the professional level. His current projection leans toward becoming a defense-first role player, the kind of guard who can bring energy, hustle, and reliability off the bench. The numbers from his time with the Lakers G League affiliate back up that possibility. In 11 games, he averaged 21.9 points per game, shooting 443 from the field, 380 from beyond the arc, and 815 from the free throw line. He added 5.3 rebounds, 5.3 assists, and 1.9 steals a night, showing an ability to contribute across multiple facets of the game. Those stats stood in stark contrast to his limited production at the NBA level. In 27 appearances for the Lakers, mostly in garbage time, Bronny averaged just 2.3 points, 0.8 assists, and 0.7 rebounds. For a player his age, that's not unusual. Development takes time, and Bronny still has room to grow, but placing the weight of an iconic franchise's future squarely on his shoulders is, at this stage, unrealistic. The Lakers, meanwhile, face a dilemma. LeBron James is still their star, still the heartbeat of the team, but his career is approaching its final chapters. The front office must balance the need to maximize the present with the responsibility of preparing for the future. Arena's comments only add fuel to the debate about whether the organization has chosen the right path. As the season approaches, one thing is clear: the Lakers' decision to let James play out his contract will be one of the league's most closely watched storylines. If the team thrives and James stays healthy, the gamble might be justified. But if the season falters, the criticism, already loud, will only grow louder. The Los Angeles Lakers made one of the most intriguing offseason moves in recent years by securing the services of Deandre Ayton, a player once heralded as a franchise cornerstone when he was selected with the first overall pick in the 2018 NBA Draft. This acquisition didn't just fill a positional need, it reignited conversations about whether Ayton is finally ready to fulfill the promise that scouts, executives, and fans envisioned when he entered the league. The Lakers' decision to pursue Ayton came after a major shakeup to the roster. Anthony Davis, who had long been the centerpiece of the Lakers' front court, was sent to the Dallas Mavericks in a headline-grabbing trade that brought Luka Doncic to Los Angeles. The move reshaped the identity of the Lakers, replacing Davis's defensive presence and versatile scoring with Doncic's dynamic playmaking and offensive brilliance. While Doncic's arrival was celebrated as a monumental step in keeping the Lakers competitive, it also left a significant hole in the middle. The Lakers needed a true interior presence, someone capable of rebounding, protecting the rim, and capitalizing on scoring opportunities created by their stars. Ayton, at 7 feet tall with a frame built for the paint, is now expected to fill that void. Paolo Mariano of Clutch Points is among those who believe Ayton is on the verge of a career-defining season. If there's one player who should also make his mark, it's Ayton. Mariano wrote, "His perspective reflects a sentiment that has followed Ayton since the day he entered the NBA. Immense potential, flashes of brilliance, but an overall sense that he hasn't yet put everything together." When the Phoenix Suns drafted Ayton first overall in 2018, the expectations were staggering. He was supposed to anchor the franchise for years, pairing with Devin Booker to form a dominant inside-outside duo. While Ayton delivered solid numbers, averaging a double-double every year of his career, he was often overshadowed by peers from his draft class. Luka Doncic, taken just 2 picks later, quickly became one of the NBA's brightest superstars. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander rose to MVP consideration with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Trae Young established himself as the face of the Atlanta Hawks. Jalen Brunson has transformed the New York Knicks into contenders. Jaren Jackson Jr. emerged as the Defensive Player of the Year in Memphis. Compared to these trajectories, Ayton's career, though productive, has seemed underwhelming. Now, the circumstances in Los Angeles may be exactly what he needs. Mariano notes that Ayton's fit alongside elite playmakers could unlock his untapped potential. With Doncic's passing vision, LeBron James's basketball IQ, and Austin Reeves' unselfishness, Ayton will have more opportunities to thrive as a pick-and-roll finisher and lob threat. For perhaps the first time, he won't be asked to shoulder the offensive burden or serve as the focal point of an attack. Instead, he can lean into his strengths: rebounding, rim running, and efficient scoring inside the paint, while the superstars around him create opportunities. Rob Pelinka, the Lakers' president of basketball operations and general manager, has already expressed enthusiasm about what Ayton brings to the team. When you have Deandre Ayton in pick and rolls with Austin Reeves, Luka, and LeBron, his ability to catch passes in the short roll is something we've already seen in workouts, Pelinka said. He's also a lob threat. Adding that dimension and his sheer size makes a very real impact. Pelinka's remarks underline the organization's confidence that Ayton can elevate the Lakers' offensive versatility while reinforcing their frontcourt defense. Statistically, Ayton has been consistent, even if not spectacular. In his 5 seasons with the Phoenix Suns, he averaged 16.7 points and 10.4 rebounds per game. He played a central role in the Suns' run to the 2021 NBA Finals, though his performance was often criticized for inconsistency against top competition. Last season, following a 3-team blockbuster that sent Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks, Ayton was moved to the Portland Trail Blazers. Despite a change in scenery, his numbers remained steady, yet Portland's rebuilding environment did little to showcase what he could do on a team with championship aspirations. The Lakers, however, are a different stage altogether. Expectations in Los Angeles are always always enormous, and the spotlight is unforgiving, but it's also the type of environment where players can redefine themselves. Playing alongside LeBron James, now 40 years old and still performing at a remarkably high level, provides Ayton with the leadership and mentorship that could sharpen his focus. Luka Doncic's arrival ensures that Ayton will rarely, if ever, see double teams, giving him the chance to operate more freely inside. Austin Reeves, now emerging as a reliable two-way guard, further bolsters the Lakers' offensive depth. Ayton's ability to adapt and flourish in this environment will be critical to the Lakers' hopes of returning to championship contention. While Doncic and James will carry the bulk of the scoring and playmaking, Ayton has the opportunity to become the X factor, a player who doesn't need to dominate every possession, but whose presence changes the complexion of games. His rebounding, rim protection, and ability to run the floor can tilt matchups in the Lakers' favor. Skeptics remain. Ayton has been labeled passive at times, criticized for lacking the intensity expected of a dominant big man. Questions about his motor and consistency have followed him throughout his career, but supporters argue that those flaws have more to do with context than ability. In Phoenix and Portland, he was never truly placed in a system that maximized his skills. With the Lakers, where the spotlight burns brighter and the stakes are higher, Ayton may finally be in a position to silence doubters. As the season approaches, the narrative around Ayton is clear. This is his chance to prove he belongs among the best players from his draft class. Mariano and Pelinka both believe the stage is set. Surrounded by one of the league's most star-studded rosters, Ayton doesn't need to be the savior. He just needs to be the missing piece. If he can deliver on that promise, the Lakers may not only shock the league, but also cement Ayton's long-awaited rise to stardom. The Los Angeles Lakers made a roster move that caught the attention of fans and analysts just hours before the official start of training camp. The team announced the signing of guard Nick Smith Jr. to a two-way contract, giving the young player an immediate opportunity to prove himself within one of the NBA's most storied franchises. Smith's signing was first reported by ESPN, and it comes at a significant time for the Lakers, who are preparing to enter the 2025-26 season with high expectations and plenty of questions surrounding their depth. At only 21 years old, Smith represents both a short-term experiment and a long-term investment, as Los Angeles looks to add energy, scoring potential, and youthful upside to its backcourt. Last season, Smith played for the Charlotte Hornets, where he averaged 9.9 points and 2.4 assists per game. He was originally selected as the 27th overall pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, a selection that reflected his strong reputation coming out of Arkansas despite a college career impacted by injury. Just last week, Charlotte made the decision to waive him, freeing him to explore opportunities with other teams. It didn't take long for the Lakers to step in. Smith has already logged 2 full seasons in the NBA. Over those 2 years, he appeared in 111 games, all with Charlotte. His production in those contests included averages of 8.0 points, 1.8 assists, 1.8 rebounds, and 0.2 steals per game. He established himself as a guard capable of spacing the floor, shooting 39.1% from the field overall and 36.9% from three-point range, all while playing 18.9 minutes per game. Those numbers, while not star level, are respectable for a player still developing his game and adjusting to the pace of the NBA. For the Lakers, Smith's addition comes with little financial risk but potentially significant rewards. Two-way contracts allow teams to evaluate young players by splitting their time between the NBA roster and the G League affiliate, which for Los Angeles is the South Bay Lakers. This means Smith will have the opportunity to earn minutes both in practice with the main squad and in live game action with the G League, where he can continue honing his skills and building confidence. One of the most intriguing aspects of Smith's arrival is his age. At just 21, he is joining a roster anchored by veterans, including LeBron James, now 40 years old, and Luka Doncic, one of the premier young stars in the league. For a team balancing the need to contend immediately with the desire to build for the future, the addition of a guard who can grow into a role fits both priorities. While Smith's role for this season remains uncertain, the Lakers have made it clear that they value his upside enough to give him an extended look throughout training camp and the preseason. Smith's journey to this point has been anything but straightforward. At Arkansas, he was considered one of the most exciting prospects in the country, showing scoring ability and playmaking potential. However, a knee injury during his lone college season limited him to just 17 games. Despite that setback, he still averaged 12.5 points, 1.6 rebounds, 1.7 assists, and 0.8 steals per game, shooting 37.6% from the floor and 33.8% from deep in 25.8 minutes of play. Those flashes of talent were enough to secure him a first-round selection, though his adjustment to the professional game has required patience and resilience. As training camp begins, Smith will enter a competitive environment where roster spots and rotations are far from guaranteed. The Lakers' backcourt already features established names and veterans, but Los Angeles has often relied on emerging players to provide bursts of energy and production throughout long seasons. If Smith can carve out a niche, particularly as a shooter and secondary ball handler, he could find himself earning minutes sooner rather than later. Beyond Smith's signing, the Lakers are preparing for an eventful season. The team will officially tip off the 2025-26 campaign with Media Day on Monday at their training facility, a day that traditionally sets the tone and provides answers to many of the offseason's lingering questions. Head coach J.J. Redick and general manager Rob Pelinka are expected to address the team's direction, roster construction, and expectations as the new season begins. While Los Angeles may not currently be viewed as the outright favorite to win the NBA championship, that perception could change quickly. Around the league, speculation continues that the Lakers are positioning themselves for at least one significant trade before the deadline. Such a move could dramatically reshape the roster and elevate the team's chances of contending for a title. Even without a blockbuster deal, the Lakers remain firmly in the championship conversation. Their case starts with the presence of Luka Doncic, one of the most dominant players in the game today, and the legendary LeBron James, who continues to defy age at 40. With those two leading the way, Los Angeles enters every season with expectations of competing at the highest level. Still, the supporting cast will play a crucial role in determining just how far this team can go. Nick Smith Jr., while not expected to be a centerpiece, symbolizes the kind of depth and youthful energy the Lakers will need to navigate the long grind of the regular season. Whether his contribution comes immediately or develops over time, his signing reflects the Lakers' willingness to explore every possible avenue to strengthen the roster. The stage is now set. Training camp is here, preseason games are around the corner, and the regular season looms large. The Lakers, with their unique blend of established superstars and developing talent, are once again preparing to chase another championship banner. Nick Smith Jr. will have his chance to be part of that pursuit, and the coming weeks will reveal whether this gamble pays off for both player and franchise.